Hello Year 10. So first thing you're going to do is similar task to what you have done for the other lessons. That is to write down a list of key words and phrases that you can remember to do with the Schlieffen plan. Pause the video now to do that. Okay, so you should have done that. If you wanted, you could have done the challenge task as well. Here are the points, so tally up how many points you get for the words that you have written. Pause now to do that. Okay, so this lesson we're going to be recapping a little bit on the Schlieffen plan and understanding how the Germans tried to break the stalemate at the Battle of Verdun. So I want us to be thinking about why the Battle of Verdun was important during this lesson, and also making sure that we have a good understanding of trench warfare and how that affected these battles. So I'd like you to have a look through these, pause the video and add to your notes anything that you did not remember. Okay, anything you had forgotten about the Schlieffen plan, you're adding to your notes now in your own words. Pause the video to do that. You're going to write down 3 facts about life in the trenches now, because we're moving on to what was trench warfare like. Anything you can remember, use these pictures to jog your memory. Any key terms that could come up in this topic, make sure you're getting those down now, so pause the video. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, the link for this video is also in class charts. You can see it written out there, and I've shown you what it should look like when you're watching it on YouTube, so you know exactly what it is that you're looking for. You're going to watch this clip and create an advert for this show that sums up some of the key points that they cover. This can be in any of the following formats. So it could be a recorded video, it could be a storyboard that you've drawn, it could be a written script, it could be a recorded audio for a radio ad, or anything else. If you can think of another format for an advert, I'm happy for you to create that. All it needs to do though is sum up some of the key points in this video. So first of all, you're going to want to watch this video and make some good notes on the stuff that it is talking about, specifically to do with the trenches and trench warfare. Pause now to do that, please. Okay, so you should have finished this task. The next thing we're going to have a think about is what was trench warfare like. So you've got some notes here. Lots of this will be stuff that you already know. Again, only add things to your notes if it's things that you did not remember, because this is a revision lesson. So pause now to add things to your notes if you need to. So how did an attack on another trench take place? Now this is really important, and I want us to consider how this affects the war in the long term as well, and how this helps to cause a stalemate. So you're going to have a look at this information. I'm going to come back to it in a second. This is the task you're going to do with that information. So you're going to use it to annotate a diagram of a trench battle. So you're going to draw a picture of a trench battle taking place. It can have stickmen on it, that's fine. And you're going to annotate it with this information. Obviously, I'd like you to do that in your own words if you're trying to challenge yourself as well. You could add things that aren't here, but basically you're creating a diagram to show how did an attack on another trench take place, and it needs to have some annotations around it to explain the things that you are drawing. So pause the video now to do that. Okay, so you should have done this task now. And the last thing you're going to look at is, why was the Battle of Verdun important? So you're going to use this information, so you can pause the video, read through it, make some notes, to then have a go at answering a question in a second. This cartoon opposes the way that the Germans fought at Verdun. How do you know? So if you're looking at a cartoon like this, there are lots of things that you want to consider. First of all is the content of the source. So you've got in this picture a huge pile of bodies, and you've also got 2 people stood on top. Let's have a look at the provenance. So it's from a British newspaper in May 1916. It shows the Kaiser and his son. In the caption, Prince Wilhelm says, "Father, we need a higher pile to see Verdun." I want you to try and think about what this is suggesting about the tactics that the Germans were using, and what that tells you about how the British felt about it, because that will help you to explain how this cartoon opposes the Germans and the way that they fought. Because essentially what it's trying to say is their tactic was to just kill as many people as possible to get to Verdun, and you know that because you can see them on this pile of bodies. You also know that it's going to oppose the Kaiser because of where it's from. Think about the fact that it's a British newspaper. So, final task, you might want to go back to those notes that were earlier on about the Battle of Verdun. You're going to use your notes to write a paragraph explaining why the Battle of Verdun was important. You want to think about what were the results of the